Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we break down the complex world of corporate finance. And today we are diving into Vistra Corp, or VST, and it looks like someone at Vistra has been busy with tax strategies. We are looking at an 8K filing, which is like a special bulletin for the stock market, telling us about important events that the company needs to announce quickly. And this one specifically is all about some tax payments. So this is a current report from the 17th of November 2025, and it tells us about something that happened earlier in November. This filing is about an event that happened on the 14th of November 2025, and it concerns Vistra Corp and a tax receivable agreement. Now this sounds complicated, but think of it like this. Vistra has some special agreements in place that allow certain people to get paid based on the tax benefits the company gets. This is often set up with investors who help the company in its early stages, or with founders. This part just tells us which rules they are following to make this announcement. It is standard stuff for these kinds of reports. This is our company Vistra Corp. They are incorporated in Delaware, have a commission file number of 001-38086, and an IRS employer identification number of 36-4,833,255. Their main office is at 6555 Sierra Drive in Irving, Texas, and their phone number is 214-812-4600. Now this is interesting. Their common stock with a par value of $0.01 has the ticker symbol VST, and it is traded on the New York Stock Exchange. This means you can likely buy and sell Vistra Corp shares on the stock market. This section is the heart of the filing. It is about Regulation FD, which is a rule that aims to ensure all investors get the same important information at the same time. This announcement is to make sure everyone knows about a tax payment being made. So on the 14th of November 2025, Vistra Corp announced an annual tax payment. This payment is related to an agreement called a tax receivable agreement. Essentially, Vistra has promised to share some of the tax benefits it receives with certain rights holders, the holders of what they call Tatra rights. These are people who have a stake in the company's cumulative tax benefits. For the 2024 tax year, Vistra will pay out a total of $687,690. This amount is split into two parts. $590,353 is considered a return of basis, which means it is like getting back part of an original investment. The other $97,337 is interest income. This payment will be made on the 1st of December 2025 to anyone who owned these trail rights on the 24th of November 2025. The more trail rights you own, the bigger your share of this payment will be. Back on the 3rd of October 2016, which they call the TCA-ish effective date, each of these trail rights was valued at about $3. So far, Vistra has already paid out roughly $57.2 million under this tax receivable agreement. This shows that this agreement has been in effect for a while and has involved significant payments to these rights holders. Now here is something important for the holders of these trial rights. The government might make the paying agent withhold up to 30% of the interest income part of the payment. This happens if the holder has not provided a correct taxpayer identification number. This means if you are one of these rights holders, you should make sure your tax information is up to date to avoid this potential withholding. And finally, the report is signed by Christopher E. Moldovan, the Executive Vice President and Chief Financial Officer of Vistra Corp. This signifies that the company is officially filing this information. So what we are seeing here is a very specific disclosure about an ongoing tax agreement. Vistra Corp is making a payment to holders of its tax receivable rights. This payment for the 2024 tax year totals nearly $700,000 and is being split between return of basis and interest income. Looking at this from a larger perspective, Vistra Corp seems to be actively managing its tax liabilities and using these agreements to reward certain stakeholders. This kind of agreement can be a way for companies to attract early investment or compensate key individuals by giving them a share in future tax savings. The fact that Vistra has already paid out over $57 million under this agreement highlights the significance of these tax benefits for the company and its former or key partners. For the holders of these trial rights, this news is a direct financial event. It signals an upcoming payment and also a reminder to ensure their tax identification details are accurate to avoid any government withholdings on the interest portion of the payout. Now for our analysis, Vistra Corp is clearly using financial instruments to manage its tax obligations and reward specific parties. This is not uncommon in the corporate world, but the scale of prior payments suggests a substantial existing structure around these tax benefits. The current payment itself is not huge in the context of a large corporation, but it represents a continuation of their commitment under this agreement. The key risk here for Vistra is ensuring compliance with tax regulations and clear communication with the trail rights holders. For the holders, the main risk is the potential for tax withholding. If they don't provide correct tax information, the opportunity for Vistra is to continue leveraging these tax benefits effectively. For the holders, the opportunity is receiving expected income. In conclusion, Vistra Corp is keeping its promise on tax receivable payments. This report is a transparency move, making sure everyone involved is informed about the upcoming distributions and potential tax implications. It is a straightforward disclosure, but important for those directly connected to the TRA rights. Alright, that is our breakdown of Vistra Corp's latest filing. What is your take on these tax receivable agreements and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching, see you next time.